Hello and welcome everyone to my spontaneous life update. I didn't plan on filming this today, but I was just on my Insta stories talking to you guys and I thought today is the day, and I just made myself a little matcha. I'm highly caffeinated, but in a really good way. And I feel like sometimes matcha makes me really talkative, so that's a good thing. And yeah, and this video isn't clickbait or anything. I'm literally giving you all the tea. So let's get into it. So for the people who already know me from Instagram, I had endometriosis stage 3 and had to have multiple surgeries on my female organs before in my 20s. And after my last surgery, they told me that I wouldn't be able to naturally conceive and stuff. They told me that on multiple occasions. And I also got put on a medication with the aim to put me into artificial menopause in my mid-20s, with the intent that I shouldn't get my period anymore. Because usually for endometriosis patients, they experience really heavy and painful periods. So they thought, well, if people don't get their periods anymore, they don't experience this pain and these heavy periods. But for me, I don't want to scare anyone, and it might work for some people, I don't know. It didn't work for me. I was on my period straight for 1 year. And that's when I decided to just quit the medication, and many people on the internet told me that I would be insane. Some of my doctors that I used to have at that time told me that this wouldn't work, and I would be back in the hospital very soon. But that wasn't the case. And yeah, ever since 2018, I am relapse free. I don't have any painful periods anymore, and yeah, and live a pretty normal life, I guess. And pretty happy about that. When I was 28, after my last surgery, I flipped my entire life around, and I made a complete 180, I would say. I started getting really deep into yoga and holistic health. That's also when I did my yoga teacher training, and then followed by my training as a holistic health coach. And I read all of the books and educated myself immensely, and yeah, took really responsibility for my health and my life. And I feel like that was also the main ingredient that helped me heal the most. And I'm still beyond proud to say that I have been relapse free for over 7 years now. And by relapse free, I mean I have normal periods, pain-free periods, I menstruate. So I menstruate regularly and I ovulate regularly, and yeah, overall I feel really good, and I'm so proud of myself. And I was actually able to conceive naturally in 2023. However, I did have a miscarriage. It wasn't connected to endometriosis though. I just had a really bad bacterial infection mixed with a lot of emotional stress at that time, and I guess the timing just wasn't right. And also because it was a surprise for both me and my partner at that time, yeah, it just it just didn't feel 100% right. Sorry. Yeah, so there's that. I'm now 35 and I still would like to have children at some point and be a mom. It just hasn't happened yet, and this is still something that I'm struggling with on an emotional level. Being a single woman at 35 and like I've never been married before. I don't have any living kids, obviously. It's, yeah, definitely something that I do struggle with. So I hadn't talked about endometriosis and my personal story online for a very long time, even years, for many reasons. Like the first being that when I stopped being on that medication, a lot of people on the internet, as I said, told me that I was insane for stopping to take that medication, and I was honestly really scared because I really was heavily advised not to stop that medication, and I was so scared for years that the disease would come back. So I stopped completely talking about it, even in my personal life and especially online. And I also unfollowed all of the endometriosis accounts and people who were talking about that, because I felt like at that time I really needed to shift my focus. So I focused really hard on yoga for like I don't know, 7 years, I guess. And the second big reason why I didn't talk about endometriosis and my personal story for so long is because in my late 20s I was single and I wanted to really participate in normal life again and start dating again, and I felt like I didn't want to scare anyone away. I just wanted to be normal, and I didn't want anyone to find out all of like my health journey stuff online before I had told them like in person, that they would like look me up and be like, oh, okay, she's a bit intense, right? I didn't want to come across as that, and I also maybe felt a little bit ashamed, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word, but I felt like I mean, there's so much stigma still around that topic because it's about the female organs and fertility and infertility and things like that. It's like really deep. And yeah, also like in 2018, when they told me that I wouldn't be able to conceive naturally, I felt really defective on the inside for a very long time. So yeah, these are the things why I didn't talk about these things for a very long time. But as I got older now, and I feel like the more time has passed, I'm getting more and more trust in my body again and in my health, and knowing that I am okay. And also like I've done like a ton of research, and I've been living really well for a very long time now, that yeah, I just have more trust in myself and my body again, that I am okay, that I can finally share about my journey again. And also So my ultimate why I am sharing this is that I don't want your pity, I don't want your sympathy. What I want is to give other people hope, because I feel like there's still so much misconception about that disease, and that if you're diagnosed with endometriosis, that you have to have painful periods for the rest of your life, and that's just not true. So this is one of the reasons why I want to share this so publicly, is because I do have pain-free periods and I menstruate and ovulate regularly and I live a pretty normal life, and I was able to conceive naturally, actually, although so many people and doctors told me I wouldn't be able to. So with my story and talking about this very publicly, I ultimately want to give people hope. But I guess you clicked on this video because you wanted to have a life update on what is happening in my life now. By the way, I'm really sorry that this story is all over the place and I'm stumbling over my words, but this just goes to show that all of what I'm sharing is coming from my heart and isn't something that I scripted and learned by heart and just gave it to you or something. Yeah, it's my life story, or part of my life story anyway, and the things that happened in my past still play like an emotional role in my life now. So this is why I'm sharing this. And so I am now 35 years old and I have never been married and I don't have any kids yet, obviously. And these two things, I'm just calling them things. Obviously they're not things, but for lack of better words, are some things that I really would like to have or experience, or yeah. And I see a lot of unmarried women who don't have children in their mid-30s or even in their late 30s, living their best lives and traveling and doing all of the things and sharing online that they are happy with their lives and they wouldn't change anything, and I love that for them and they seem so inspiring. Personally, I'm not there, and I cannot in complete honesty say like I'm happy as it is in my life right now, because I'm really lacking these things. So what I'm trying to do now is to live more in the present moment and finding joy in the everyday little moments and being happy now and grateful now and being really, really present with what is going on a daily basis. Because I feel like I had put like being in a relationship and having my own children and stuff on such a pedestal that unconsciously I kept pushing it away, because this was so important to me. And obviously it's like, if you're watching this and you're also in your 30s, it's like babies and marriages and all of these kind of things, they're all like in your face when you open any kind of social media app. It's like basically what you see, because so many of our peers in our 30s are getting married and are having babies and things like that. Friends are having babies, friends are getting married. It's like something that you see every single day, and it wasn't like that in my 20s. And obviously maybe I was also following different people back then, or the people I used to follow back then also like evolved and started a relationship and got married and had the kids and whatnot. So yeah, it's a different experience in your 30s, definitely. So yeah, that's why I started sharing more of the little moments that bring me joy on a daily basis. And I feel like that helps me a lot to be happy now. And yeah, I'm really excited where my journey is taking me. And yeah, I still hope I will be a mom at some point in the future, and also be in like a happy, harmonious relationship with my soulmate, ideally. But yeah, I'm letting these things go for now. Focus on the here and now and the joy and the things that I can do today, right now, that make me feel good and make me happy. And that's that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it already brought some of you hope that being diagnosed with pelvic pain or endometriosis or even PCOS or hormonal imbalances is not the end of the world. I hope, although I shared some heartbreak in this video, I hope you still can take like the positives from this, and I still hope that I can leave it on a positive note. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to DM me or email me or whatever. I'll be happy to answer those, maybe in another YouTube, I don't know. And I hope you have an amazing day, and talk to you guys soon.